Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Smoke and Mirrors. I'm your host, Brian Brown, coming to you from thedailydank.com. Happy holidays to all our listeners out there. Whether you're trimming the tree, wrapping presents, or just hanging out with a holiday-themed strain, we're glad you've joined us today. Before we dive into today's festive mysteries, I want to remind you to check out thedailydank.com, your ultimate destination for cannabis news, culture, and conspiracies. That's thedailydank.com, where we keep it both festive and fiery all season long. In today's episode, we're unwrapping the top 5 Christmas and holiday conspiracies. We'll explore strange myths, secret origins, and wild theories that might just make you question what's really going on behind all that holiday cheer. So grab some eggnog or something stronger, get comfortable, light one up, and let's get into it.
Ensuring your baby gets the nutrients they need to support their growth and development is a top priority for every parent. That's why millions around the globe have turned to A2 Platinum as the formula they trust. A2 Platinum Premium Infant Formula is nutritionally complete with whole milk as the first ingredient. Their A2 whole milk comes from specifically selected cows that naturally produce milk containing only the A2 protein and no A1. With 30-plus select nutrients, A2 Platinum is specifically designed with tiny tummies in mind and without worry of harmful chemicals. Quality and safety are the #1 priority for A2 Platinum. Plus, they are Clean Label Project Purity Award certified. Join millions of parents and choose A2 Platinum for your little one. Right now, for a limited time only, A2 is offering podcast listeners 25% off their first purchase when you use promo code podcast25 at checkout on Amazon or at a2platinum.com. Again, for 25% off your first order, go to Amazon or a2platinum.com and use the promo code podcast25.
All right, let's kick things off with a particularly eyebrow-raising theory. Santa Claus as a government surveillance tool. Now, bear with me here. This one gets pretty wild. We all know the classic story. Santa Claus watches you day and night, taking meticulous notes on who's been naughty or nice. It's a harmless holiday fable, right? Well, some conspiracy theorists have a different take. They argue that this tale is an early form of mind conditioning designed to acculturate children to the idea of being constantly watched. Sound familiar? Kind of like a pre-internet Big Brother. Now, where did this modern image of a watchful Santa come from? Believe it or not, the Santa we all imagine today, a jolly old man in a red suit equipped with supernatural powers of surveillance, was largely shaped by a Coca-Cola ad campaign from the 1930s. But the concept of a figure keeping tabs on who's good and who's bad goes back even further, to characters like Father Christmas and Santa Claus. These old legends also involve keeping lists and rewarding or punishing children based on their behavior. So what if these stories were more than just folklore? Some theorists suggest they might have been early psychological operations, or psyops, to get people used to the idea of being under constant watch. Crazy, right? Now let's do a quick fact check on this one. Is there any real evidence that Santa is a secret government agent? Not really. It's a fun idea, but there's nothing concrete to back it up. However, it does make you think a little, especially when you consider modern phenomena like the elf on the shelf. This popular holiday toy essentially spies on kids and reports back to Santa, reinforcing that same age-old concept of constant surveillance. So what do you think? Is the Santa surveillance theory just a bunch of holiday hooey, or could there be some grain of truth behind it? Either way, it certainly makes for an interesting discussion around the holiday dinner table. Next up on our list of holiday theories is one that shoots for the stars, literally. We're talking about the Star of Bethlehem, the legendary celestial sign that guided the wise men to the birthplace of Jesus. For centuries, scholars, theologians, and even astronomers have pondered over what exactly this guiding light could have been. Was it a comet? A planetary alignment? Or if we venture into the realm of conspiracy theories, could it have been a UFO? Now, I know what you're thinking, a UFO? Really? But let's consider the evidence that UFO theorists put forward. They argue that a mysterious hovering light in the sky, moving with intention and stopping at a very specific location, fits the description of a modern-day UFO sighting almost too perfectly. Imagine a celestial GPS, but with an extraterrestrial twist. It's a compelling idea that certainly gives new meaning to the phrase out of this world. Astronomers, on the other hand, have their own theories. Some suggest that the Star of Bethlehem might have been Halley's Comet making one of its appearances. Others propose it could have been the result of a rare planetary conjunction or even a supernova lighting up the night sky. Despite all these scientific explanations, none have managed to fully capture the essence of the biblical description. The star remains an enigma as its true nature continues to elude even the sharpest minds. So, where does that leave us? Let's face it, the mystery of the Star of Bethlehem is one of those fascinating puzzles that keeps people debating year after year. While there's no definitive evidence to back up the UFO theory, it does add an exciting layer to the traditional nativity story. Who knows, maybe the truth is up there, twinkling in the night sky, waiting for us to uncover it. Are you ready to elevate your cannabis experience? Welcome to thedailydank.com, your ultimate destination for everything weed, laughs, and good vibes. We're more than just a website, we're a community, a place where cannabis lovers come together to share, learn, and have a blast. Whether you're tuning in for the wild and hilarious 420 Somewhere podcast, getting your game face on during one of our epic game night live sessions, or waking up to the Wakey Bakey Morning Show for your daily dose of fun, we've got something for everyone. Dive into our exclusive podcasts, from the spooky to the weird to the downright hilarious. We've got a show for every kind of stoner. We're not just about listening, we want you to join in. Our online meetups and community events give you a chance to connect with fellow dankheads and dive deep into everything cannabis culture. And hey, if you're looking for your people, you finally found them. The Daily Dank is your home for all things stoner culture, crazy theories, and a whole lot of fun. Join the family today at thedailydank.com. This is more than just a website, it's a lifestyle. That's thedailydank.com. Now, let's move on to our third eye-opening theory. Christmas was invented by corporations. Ever feel like Christmas is more about shopping than celebration? If so, you're not alone, and some conspiracy theorists take it a step further. They believe that the modern-day Christmas we celebrate was, in fact, manufactured by corporations to boost consumer spending during what was traditionally a slow economic period. Let's trace this idea back to the late 1800s. This is when department stores like Macy's began staging elaborate holiday displays to lure shoppers in. Imagine walking past those glittering displays decked out in all their festive glory. Quite the enticement to come inside and spend some money, right? And it worked. These stores saw a significant uptick in business during the holiday season. Fast forward to the 1930s, and we see how this commercialized version of Christmas gets even more cemented into our culture. This time, the Coca-Cola Company played a crucial role. It was during this decade that Coca-Cola shaped the modern image of Santa Claus. Yup, that jolly old man in a red suit most of us picture when we think of Santa. We have Coca-Cola to thank for that. Their ad campaigns featured a jolly, rotund Santa guzzling down bottles of Coke, forever tying the image of Santa with holiday consumerism. Now, what about Black Friday and the endless barrage of holiday sales? Some people go so far as to claim that these are engineered economic events. The goal? To keep people in perpetual debt while making corporations even richer. It's a pretty dark view when you think about it. Buyers get sucked into a season-long shopping spree, driven by relentless marketing, tantalizing commercials, and a slew of must-have toys and gadgets. It's like a shopping-induced trance that kicks off as soon as Thanksgiving dinner is cleared away. Let's take a moment to conduct a fact check. Sure, Christmas has its religious origins rooted in the celebration of the birth of Jesus Christ. But there's no denying that the holiday has evolved significantly. Nowadays, it's almost synonymous with gift-giving, shopping, and commercialism. Whether you label this evolution as a conspiracy or just savvy capitalism likely depends on your perspective and perhaps your current credit card balance. So is Christmas just a giant corporate conspiracy designed to empty our wallets? Or is it simply that our modern culture has adapted to incorporate more consumerism into our celebrations? Maybe it's a little bit of both. Either way, this theory certainly adds a twist to our understanding of the holiday season. Welcome to the Healing Center, located at 1400 Needles Highway in the heart of Needles, California, right off the iconic Route 66, and just a stone's throw from the breathtaking Colorado River. But that's not all. Prepare yourself for the ninth wonder of the world, the legendary Wall of Flower. With over 60 brands and strains of top-tier cannabis, you'll be in flower paradise. At the Healing Center, we don't just have the best selection, we offer the lowest prices around. We're proud to be known as the #1 cannabis superstore in all the land, offering the best service, the best deals, and a shopping experience like no other. So why wait? Come check out the world-famous Healing Center for yourself and see what all the buzz is about. For the latest scoop and hottest deals, head over to thedailydank.com and stay in the know. The Healing Center, where quality meets affordability. Your cannabis journey starts here. Moving along to perhaps one of the darker corners of holiday lore, let's discuss the myth of Krampus. This is one of those stories that genuinely sends shivers down your spine, a stark contrast to the jolly image of Santa Claus we're all familiar with. Krampus is the terrifying half-goat, half-demon figure from European folklore. While Santa rewards the good children with gifts and cheer, Krampus has a far more sinister role. Instead of candy canes and presents, this creature is said to punish the naughty ones, sometimes even going as far as dragging them down to the underworld. Talk about a chilling deterrent for bad behavior. What's fascinating is that Krampus has deep pagan roots predating Christianity. His origins can be traced back to ancient winter solstice rituals, where he was viewed as a dark companion to St. Nicholas. In regions like Austria and Germany, Krampusnacht or Krampus Night is still celebrated. People dress up in terrifying Krampus costumes and parade through the streets, a living embodiment of this eerie figure. It's a far cry from our candy-coated holiday traditions. Now, here's where it gets even more intriguing. Some believe that Krampus wasn't just a scary story told to kids, but a real supernatural entity. A dark spirit tied to ancient winter rituals, perhaps misunderstood, or maybe something altogether more sinister. Could Krampus have been a misunderstood protector of the balance between good and evil? Or was he a demon that folklore sought to keep at bay through tales and traditions? Let's do a quick reality check, though. There's no concrete evidence to suggest that Krampus ever existed outside of myth and legend. However, his story has persisted through the centuries, capturing imaginations and continuing to be a part of holiday folklore in certain parts of the world. And considering some of the other creepy Christmas traditions out there, is it really so far-fetched? So whether you see Krampus as nothing more than an ancient bedtime story or a symbol of the dark side of the festive season, there's no denying he adds an interesting and terrifying twist to the holiday narratives we share. And who knows? The next time you hear mysterious clanking chains and growls outside your window on a cold December night, you might just think twice about how real Krampus could be. All right, on to our next theory. Have you ever noticed how some places seem to get those perfect, picturesque snowstorms just in time for Christmas? Well, buckle up, because our next theory will have you looking at those snowy flakes a little differently. So, have you ever noticed how some places seem to get those perfect, picturesque snowstorms just in time for Christmas? Could it be more than just a seasonal miracle? Some conspiracy theorists certainly think so. One of the more outlandish theories out there suggests that the government has the ability to control the weather, and they specifically create Christmas snow to boost holiday cheer. Ever heard of HAARP? That stands for the High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program. It's a real project that investigates the ionosphere with high-frequency radio waves. But in the world of conspiracies, HAARP takes on a much more sinister role. Some believe it's actually a weapon capable of manipulating the weather worldwide. These theorists argue that the government uses technology like HAARP to create snowstorms, rain, and even hurricanes on command. You might think that's a bit far-fetched, but let's talk about cloud seeding, a real scientific process. Cloud seeding involves dispersing substances into the air to encourage cloud formation and precipitation. It's been used in various parts of the world to stimulate rainfall during droughts. So, while weather control isn't entirely the stuff of science fiction, using it for festive snowfall is another story. Let's do a quick fact check on this snowy conspiracy. While cloud seeding and other weather modification techniques exist, there's no concrete evidence linking them to orchestrated snowstorms for holiday purposes. Manipulating weather patterns on such a specific and localized level remains in the realm of sci-fi for now. So next time you enjoy a white Christmas, you can probably thank Mother Nature rather than Uncle Sam. But hey, if it ever snows in Las Vegas on Christmas Eve, maybe then we'll reconsider. And there you have it, folks. From Santa being a government surveillance tool to the Star of Bethlehem possibly being a UFO, this episode of Smoke and Mirrors has certainly unwrapped some of the wildest Christmas conspiracies out there. We've talked about the commercialization of Christmas by corporations, the dark folklore of Krampus, and the notion of government-controlled Christmas snow. It's been a festive, fascinating journey through some of the season's most curious theories. If you loved today's episode, don't forget to check out thedailydank.com for even more eye-opening content, cannabis culture, and conspiracy theories to feast your mind on. That's thedailydank.com, your go-to spot for staying curious and staying lit this holiday season. Thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Smoke and Mirrors. Your support means the world to us. Stay curious, stay lit, and remember, the truth might just be hiding under the mistletoe.
Happy holidays.
Make sure to check the show notes for any links or articles mentioned in today's episode. Until next time, I'm your host, Brian Brown. Happy holidays and take care.
All right, we're all set for the party. I've trimmed the tree, hung the mistletoe, and paired all those weird-shaped knives and forks with the appropriate cheeses. And I plugged in the Bartesian.
Bartesian?
It's a home cocktail maker that makes over 60 premium cocktails, plus a whole lot of seasonal favorites, too. I just got it for $50 off. So, how about a Cosmopolitan or a mistletoe margarita?
I'm thirsty.
Watch. I just pop in a capsule, choose my strength, and...
Wow, it's beginning to feel more seasonal in here already.
If your holiday party doesn't have a bartender, then you become the bartender. Unless you've got a Bartesian, because Bartesian crafts every cocktail perfectly in as little as 30 seconds. And I just got it for $50 off.
'Tis the season to be jollier.
Add some holiday flavor to every celebration with the sleek, sophisticated home cocktail maker, Bartesian. Get $50 off any cocktail maker at bartesian.com/cocktail. That's BARTESIAN.com/cocktail.
It can get lonely climbing Mount McKinley, so to entertain myself, I go to ChumbaCasino.com. At Chumba Casino, I can play hundreds of online casino-style games for free, like online slots, bingo, slingo, and more. Plus, I get a daily login bonus. It's just too bad that up here, I don't have anyone to share my excitement with. Woohoo!
Live the Chumba life. Anytime, anywhere. Play for free now at ChumbaCasino.com.
VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.